In Revelation 13 we are shown two beasts. The first beast has various characteristics which show us who it represents. You will notice that in verse 2 it says the dragon gave this beast its power, seat and great authority. But who is the dragon? If you read Revelation 12 you will see it represents Satan. But the dragon also represents something else. What does a beast represent in Bible prophecy? Daniel 7:23 tells us a beast in prophecy represents a kingdom. So which kingdom could the dragon also represent? Well, in Revelation 12:4 it says that the dragon would try to kill Jesus when he was to be born on earth. And which kingdom did Satan use to try to kill Jesus when he was born? Rome. So the dragon also represents Rome. This means the beast of Revelation 13, the first beast, received its seat from the Roman Empire. Interestingly, this first beast of Revelation 13 matches the little horn of Daniel 7 also. It rises up in a multinational area. It speaks blasphemies against God. It reigns for 1260 prophetic years, and it persecutes and kills God's people during this 1260-year reign. These characteristics matches the little horn of Daniel 7 and the first beast of Revelation 13. And where did the little horn come from? It came up from the fourth beast of Daniel 7, which was the Roman Empire. So which kingdom did the Roman Empire give its seat to, which Revelation 13 confirms? And which kingdom fulfills these characteristics? The kingdom of the papacy, the papal church of Rome based in Vatican City, which is its own nation. So the first beast of Revelation 13 is the papacy. What about the second beast of Revelation 13? Well, this beast rises up out of the earth, which is the complete opposite of the first beast, which arose from a multinational area representing Europe. So this earth beast was to rise up from a sparsely populated area, a wilderness, completely separated from Europe. This beast nation was also to rise to power after the 1260-year reign of the papal church. In 1798, the papacy received its mortal wound, as Revelation 13 calls it. So the earth beast would be a nation that is rising to power around this time. And Revelation 13 calls this nation a lamb-like nation, which is a representation of Christ. But this nation would later speak like a dragon. It would speak like Satan and the Roman Empire. Not only that, this second beast nation would end up causing the whole world to take the mark of the beast. Now, what do you need to have to be able to cause the whole world to do something? You need financial control and vast military control over the world. Now there is only one nation on earth that comes even close to matching the second beast of Revelation 13, and that is America. So the two beasts of Revelation 13 are the papacy and America. But there is something else. In verse 14 of Revelation 13, it says that America would tell the people to make an image to the first beast. So America is to form an image of the papacy in the United States. And what is the Papal Church of Rome? It is a church-state union, with the church telling the state what to do. Friends, prophecy is fulfilling fast, and we now have an uprising in America from evangelicals and Catholics to take control of America. And Donald Trump has united with these evangelicals and Catholic leaders to bring about changes in America. Just listen to this.
I would like to thank the evangelical and religious community, because I'll tell you what, the support that they've given me, and I'm not sure I totally deserve it. has been so amazing and has had such a big reason for me being here tonight. They have much to contribute to our politics, yet our laws prevent you from speaking your minds from your own pulpits. An amendment pushed by Lyndon Johnson many years ago threatens religious institutions with a loss of their tax-exempt status if they openly advocate their political views. Their voice has been taken away. I am going to work very hard to repeal that language and to protect free speech for all Americans.
Nevertheless, Donald Trump yesterday was making a strong promise to Christians. He wants to get rid of the Johnson Amendment. How he learned about that, I have no idea, because I've been fighting that thing for 20, 30 years. But that Johnson Amendment is the IRS rule that was put in by Lyndon Johnson that forbids nonprofits from engaging in politics.
The crux of his speech, repealing the Johnson Amendment.
If I get elected president, one of the early things, one of the absolute first things I'm going to do is work on totally knocking out the Johnson Amendment.
The 1954 amendment was created by then-Senator Lyndon B. Johnson. It limits the free speech of pastors, essentially threatening to take away a church or nonprofit's tax-exempt status for endorsing or opposing a political candidate.
At this hotel in New York City, Donald Trump met with Christian evangelical leaders who had flown in from all over the country because they wanted to ask him questions face to face.
I'm very encouraged, to be honest with you.
Donald Trump met with nearly 1,000 Christian leaders at a meeting organized by faith groups. Their goal is to build support for Trump among evangelicals, who can get out the vote in November if they are united.
For him to take the lead and say, okay, get your act together and come together and you can be a political powerhouse. I hope they take that home.
The meeting was private. Trump came and left without talking to the media. He spent about 2 hours in this ballroom taking questions from the religious base of the Republican Party.
I think the meetings were very productive. I believe Mr. Trump showed a side of himself that those in the room had not seen before. They saw how engaging, how hospitable he is.
Afterwards, attendees said Trump answered with very specific policy plans on issues that are important to Christians, like religious liberty.
Almost everyone in that room has experienced some kind of IRS harassment, and they're tired of it. And that touched a chord. And then the other thing was his strong support for Israel and his opposition to the Iran nuclear deal.
Specifically, he was talking about appointing constitutionalists, and he even said the word pro-life judges, pro-life justices. And so, you know, that was definitely drilling down a little bit and being very specific, and that was very well received.
We'll see the same old with Hillary Clinton. I'm for Donald, and I'll be until after he's elected president.
The evangelical leaders here, who had never met Donald Trump, said they saw a different side of him in private. They called him sharp, calm, and a good listener.
An election that will go down in the history books, and for the evangelicals, for the Christians, for everybody of religion, this will be maybe the most important election that our country's ever had.
The image of the beast is coming in the US, and the majority of professed Christians are falling for Satan's deception in so-called taking control of America. But in doing this, they will end up forming the image of the papacy in America, a church-state union that will end up usurping the power of God and enforcing the mark of the beast upon the world, which will be the enforced Sunday law, Rome's and Satan's false Sabbath, which is a direct violation of God's holy seventh-day Sabbath. Please seek the truth, friends. We are living in the last days. I urge all to read this book, The Great Controversy, so that you may know what's coming upon the world in the very last days before Jesus Christ returns.